neck is probably tight because you're having dizziness, and what your brain's doing is trying to increase feedback from your neck muscles. So yes, you do need your neck adjusted, but you just may not need it yet. And we definitely don't want you cracking your own neck, because you're getting rid of that stability that was created to try to make you feel less dizzy. So it becomes this vicious cycle. I had a patient who, she was not very excited when I told her not to crack her neck anymore.
I don't feel like anybody's super jazzed.
And I didn't even want her doing any like stretches of her neck because she was having so much dizziness. I said, I need you to kind of power through what you're feeling in your neck, because when we can get you less dizzy, what I would expect to happen is that tension in your neck should start to fade away. And then you should respond much better to adjustments, and you should hopefully not feel the need to crack your own neck.
Yes, I usually tell people, like, if they're diligent about it, because the other thing that happens is it becomes a habit. So a lot of people do it and they are not even realizing it, and they catch themselves like after they've done the deed. And so I tell them, like, you really need to consciously be aware over the next, and I tell them 2 weeks. Like, I've really found that, like, if the people that we talk to about this are doing what we're asking them to do, usually in about 2 weeks, I feel like things are a little bit more stable and you feel less like you have to actually do that. And I always tell them, in the meantime, because, you know, once you're used to doing that, you're gonna feel a little sore and uncomfortable, like at least initially, in your neck, because that's the whole reason why you're doing it in the first place, right? You're like trying to relieve some tension. So I always tell them, alternate ice and heat, no more than 15 minutes at a time, to help just relieve some of the discomfort that might come along in those first 2 weeks. And it seems to work pretty well for a lot of people. And then, you know, we kind of have the conversation of, like, you want to be able to adjust you if it's appropriate for your system, your, you know, biomechanics, your brain, and all of that. But then we're going to go in and do it at a point that's appropriate for you, for your brain, but also to make sure that we're creating enough stability and mobility for the system as a whole.